G'day lads and ladies, my name is Mario and I just heard that ranked Pokemon battles could be completely removed from future mainline Pokemon games. You know what's replacing them? The best fucking thing that ever happened to Pokemon. It's gonna change competitive battling forever and maybe even the main titles too. She's called Pokémon Champions. This beautiful beast of a game has been leaked to be released on January 23rd, 2026. And it's coming to Switch. It's coming to Switch 2. It's coming to mobile. Completely fucking free. Could you bloody believe it? It's gonna change how we play Pokemon online, and in this video, I'm gonna explain why I think it's the greatest thing to ever happen in the history of Pokemon, and how I think it's gonna affect the main games going forward. In the current mainline Pokemon games, you're limited to the game's Pokédex, the gimmicks, the moves, and the items available within the current title that you're playing. The problem with this is, every new title since Sun and Moon, they've gone and fucked off access to different items and Pokemon, which can open up big issues in regards to balancing. Since the removal of the National Dex, which gave us access to every single Pokemon available in prior games, we now have way fucking less Pokemon available that we can use in battle. This makes the heavy hitters a lot harder to deal with and leaves very few Pokemon viable at higher level play, because certain Pokemon become necessary to counter the most problematic Pokemon. Now, they kind of fix this with the release of the DLCs adding more Pokemon, though it often comes with their own bullshit such as these radish looking cunts on horseback. This shit, alongside the big time investment to train and create competitive Pokemon, really limits your ability to get creative with your team building and to try out new strategies. People don't want to invest all this time and effort to build a team that might not work. This makes it so you see the same bullshit meta-horde team spammed online, as most people are just using rentals rather than creating their own teams. This makes a ranked ladder feel very stale and, to be honest, really fucking boring due to the lack of variety in Pokemon and strategies. Despite Game Freak's best efforts to speed up the process in regards to building Pokemon, with items such as ability capsules and patches, nature mints, hyper training, all that shit, it's still more work than most cunts are gonna put in. If you only have an hour to play a day, you don't really want to spend it grinding EVs, or doing 100 laggy bullshit raids with randoms, bringing like shiny Smolives and shit to an Ice Terra Shine power raid, just for the Pokemon you're building to get its cheeks clapped. Pokemon Champions looks to completely remove all of these problems by giving back access to the National Dex once again, as well as the ability to use old items and gimmicks from previous games. We know this will be coming because in a trailer there was a Mega and a Terraslos Pokemon going at it in the same battle. This idea has already been proven to be extremely popular and successful thanks to the fan-made battle simulator Pokémon Showdown holding a healthy player base since its release. The biggest and best addition we're going to see in Pokemon Champions is the ability to alter your Pokemon's EVs, IVs, nature, and ability literally in fucking seconds, which is a major change to all the bullshit we need to go through to build our Pokemon currently. See, in the current game Scarlet and Violet, if we wanted to alter a Pokemon we've already built, we'd need to go out and collect a bunch of EV reducing berries to reset our EVs, go kill a bunch of cunts to put them in the stats that we want to change to, or buy vitamins with in-game money, which still takes fucking ages to get and it's slower than just training normally. But on Pokemon Champions, we can do all of this whenever the fuck we want with what seems to be a very small amount of in-game currency. This is going to lead to a much larger variety in teams and strategies, because players aren't going to feel like they got fucked in the ass just for having fun and being creative with their team building and have it turn out shit. We can just go into the Pokemon editor, change some shit around almost instantly, and jump back into our battles. Speaking of the currency, Pokemon Champions is going to be using a currency called Victory Points, or VP for short. This currency is gained by just battling, be it in ranked, casual battles, some of the single player modes that'll be available. Now, before you get your knickers in a twist and start freaking the fuck out with fears of the game being pay to win, it's not going to be the case at all. We've seen in-game footage that Pokemon and stat changes are acquirable with these victory points, and the currency has been confirmed to not be purchasable with real life money at all. Also, in the footage that we've seen, there's no option to acquire a Pokemon with like a separate currency, though we do know there'll be a premium currency purchasable to get different cosmetics and shit like stadium skins and trainer clothing, all that shit that doesn't really fucking matter in terms of gameplay. Pokemon Champions is going to have Pokemon Home integration. This means we're going to be able to bring over any Pokemon we have in Home that we've collected in other games, throw them straight into Champions with their current stats, abilities, moves, all that good shit. So anyone who has played Pokemon in the past should have a juicy head start at launch. Don't feel like you're wasting your time fucking around and building Pokemon now. You'll be able to use them when Champions drops. Expect to see me out there day one fucking shit up with me shiny Farfetch'd I hatched in Sun and Moon. I reckon one of the best things about Pokemon Champions is it's going to completely get rid of the cheating problems in the current games. Right now we have a huge issue when it comes to hacked Pokemon, as they're almost impossible to tell them apart from legit ones. We've had plenty of instances where people, spend money, fly to tournaments, pay for admissions, all that, just so they can get disqualified for using gem Pokemon, and they might not even know they were fucking hacked to begin with. These Pokemon pass when you use them online, or when you trade them, then you go to a tournament, and they get flagged as illegitimate. It's like, come the fuck on. In my opinion, I think having such a big time commitment to team build and to test, it really creates an unfair dynamic in the competitive scene. Some people simply don't have the time others do to create teams, which leads to hacking being pretty commonplace. Many people would not be able to compete otherwise. VGC is just about battling, and I feel that everyone should have access to the same shit others do to create an even playing field. These tournaments don't exist to see who has the most time to train Pokemon. It's meant to be about showing your skills in battle, right? But with Pokemon Champions giving everyone access to the entire Pokedex, everyone will have the ability to use everything others do, legitimately, without the need for time, help, or cheating. Another huge possibility when it comes to Pokemon Champions being the new sole game when it comes to competitive battles is the possibility we get tiered formats. This would allow us to use Pokemon of varying power levels competitively, because they would be classed in different tiers like Ubers, overused, underused, that kind of shit. I think the best way to approach this is having like a few common formats, OU, UU, NU, doubles, always available. Then running seasonal formats with like currency earning bonuses or a season pass kind of thing to promote a particular time limited format, like Little Cup where you can only use baby Pokemon. I believe seasonal rotation formats like this would be a ton of fun and help keep things exciting, but you don't want them all available at one time like Pokemon Showdown does, because it spreads the player base way too fucking thin, and it would result in longer queue times or just getting paired with people way above or below your skill level just to get in the game. These formats give us the opportunity to be creative and have fun with our teams. We won't need to worry about a little Farfetch getting fucked in the ass by a Miraidon. Oh, another thing we could see if there's no tiered formats is the possibility of like balancing updates, such as buffing or nerfing stats of a particular Pokemon to make it more viable. Because Champions is separate to the mainline games and its sole existence is to provide an accessible competitive space, I see no issue in altering a Pokemon's stats to increase its viability, because it'll add more diversity when it comes to good Pokemon we can build with. Something else I'm really looking forward to is the addition of these like Pokemon Stadium single player modes. I don't know if you cunts are boomers like me, but I grew up on that shit and I'm fucking keen as. One mode in particular I'm excited for, though it's only a leak. This guy's been right about a shit ton of things in regards to Champions so far, so I'm pretty confident in it, is the roguelike mode where you bring a team and you got to fight 10 trainers in a row and you can't heal until you beat every 10th trainer. It's like a gauntlet style, see how far you can get game mode, which you'll 100% see me grinding on stream and making videos on if it does make it to the game. Speaking of single player, you might be thinking,
Oi Mario, how's this gonna affect the main games though, you reckon?
Well, it's my belief this is a big reason Champions is in development to begin with. Separating competitive play from the mainline games could open up a shit ton of creative and technical breathing room for the devs at Game Freak. Not having to worry about PvP balance would be huge in regards to the development of the mainline titles. Right now they gotta spend so much time designing movesets, abilities, all that shit while considering the stats of a Pokemon to make sure things aren't too overpowered. This makes it so the devs have to limit their creativity in regards to like crazy strong Pokemon, abilities, items, moves, just to make sure it doesn't completely break the PvP scene. But separating PvP from a story experience really lets them get a little crazy with Pokemon. Let's be honest, Arceus should be able to one-shot every cunt and their dog, but instead can be taken out by shit like this. Being single player only, they could add legendary specific moves and abilities that are just completely fucking busted for the big wow moments in the story. You could make your one wish to Jirachi to be able to obtain an item called the Ultra Giga Fuck-em-Upper, which makes it so all your Pokemon's moves one-shot everything. They could really add some spectacles in the games with this kind of freedom. They could create huge crazy boss Pokemon without any regard to competitive play, and they could stay just as strong after you catch them. Not only does it open up opportunities like that, but it also gives Game Freak more time and resources to focus on making game design much more polished, bigger and more lively worlds that hopefully run higher than 10 FPS. They could focus on more elaborate storytelling, big Zelda-like dungeons with boss fights, better traversal, completely overhaul the battle system if they like. Take Legends Arceus for example. The lack of online play in that game gave them the freedom to experiment with a new battle system, and that turned out to be really fucking refreshing. So to wrap her up, Pokémon Champions is likely to be the single biggest change in competitive Pokémon history. The return of the national decks, past mechanics like Megas, D-Max, no pay to win bullshit, tiered formats, balance updates, and new seasonal content should see an extremely healthy player base for years to come. All while freeing the mainline game so Game Freak can hopefully make something that doesn't look like it can run on a fucking smart fridge. If Pokémon Champions delivers even half of the shit I expected to, we're looking at the golden age of competitive Pokémon and single player alike. We'll be getting a real dedicated game where the only thing that matters is how fucking good you are, not how much time you have to grind EVs. You will catch me there day one, fucking shit up. If you want to come and play with me, drop a sub. If you can't wait for Champions, jump by a stream. I'll be live, battling viewers, almost every day while we wait for the release. Drop a comment, tell me what you're most excited for, or what you're hoping to get with Pokémon Champions. If you're as keen as I am, drop a like, drop a sub, so I know it's something you want me to cover when it drops. My name is Mario, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're the real fucking champions. Take it easy guys, love yous, mwah.